But mind you, the work of Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum is made so much easier if their teammates are also knocking down shots. You got Marcus Smart, and you had Marcus Smart, Al Horford knocking down threes early on in this game. This got the rhythm going. Got everybody going. Like, boom, Al Horford stepping, transition threes. Like, this is going to make it so much easier. And this Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown dynamic, I love how they're able to balance off of one each other. And, like, when somebody else got it going, they let them get going. When the other person got it going, they let the other person get going. They don't try to get in each other's way when somebody else is flowing. Especially you've seen this in this first quarter and then, like, in that second and third quarter with Jayson Tatum. Tatum also has this low rip through just like Joel Embiid be doing. But I don't even want to talk about this side of the ball, the offensive side of it. Look what Jrue Holiday does. Look at the discipline. This is what I talk about when I say hold your hands back when you see somebody do a low rip through. You saw Jrue Holiday's hands. He got into that low rip through. He pulled his hands back like this. If you try to put his hand in there, you try to hand check anything, boom, that's a foul. That's a foul. You got to understand tendencies. That's what makes players like Jrue Holiday so good, because you already know all the little things that they're doing before the game. Peep this. That little hezzy dribble he did where he got into space and then he showed his eyes and he did a little stutter. Peep that. And notice how Giannis reacts to it. Giannis stepped up literally for a split second. And so instead of Jaylen Brown creating all that space and then Giannis saying, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to recover and beat him to the spot, it forces Giannis to go, okay, he took that one dribble out. He got into space instead of getting downhill. He's like, okay, I got to step up into him because he may shoot that. Slow down. Boom, he steps up. Instead of trying to beat him to that spot on that little stutter dribble, boom. And then he gets right by. Then he gets to his little pivots, turn around, knockdown. It's a lot. Now, he ain't hit the bucket. But Jaylen Brown's handle, when he decides to actually go and attack in the right spaces, in the right spacing, is great. It's fluid. And it has gotten better. It's more confident. He's more assertive with his handle, with his dribble. The last year, you seen him kind of like that dribble was a little weak, like it was a little too low, like it really wasn't in his pockets and whatnot. But now it's looking a little better. Of course, he's getting that ball up a little higher. And by the way, make sure you subscribe, like, and turn on notifications because we drop breakdown videos daily. And if you want to catch my breakdowns live, make sure you go hit that link in the description, go follow, and let's get right back to it. You see? Now Jaylen Brown, another two. Now, the steal is going to go to Malcolm Brogdon. The bucket is going to go to Jaylen Brown. But who was really responsible for that play was Grant Williams. Notice this. That bump right there, Grant Williams be able to take that bump on, absorb that contact, and literally not go anywhere and force Brook Lopez to stay squared in the same spot is what allows Brogdon to get the steal. And since Brogdon got the steal, Jaylen Brown gets the bucket. All that is done by Grant Williams. He even tried to drop his shoulder to get through him. Grant Williams ain't go nowhere. He just let him straight to his help. All that was done by Grant Williams. But yet, it's not going to get put in the box score, which is why players like this are so valuable. They'll do all these little things, but it doesn't get put in the box score. And mind you, these players also, you're too scared of trying to be that player, but realize, you try to actually be yourself, you're going to realize there's more spots for you than there is if you try to be someone you're not. Now in that first action though, we're gonna go back to that first action. Way to make a play by Jaylen Brown. Jayson Tatum has a look right here, and peep this. He's setting this back screen for Jaylen Brown, and now notice this right here. He's got Jay Crowder. He had Jay Crowder on his top side, right here. You've got him on your top side, and they're making the switch. And since he switched this on this back screen, he's on that top side. And if you hold this position right here, you'll realize Jaylen Brown's gonna clear out. Matthew's going to get engaged with Jaylen Brown. He turns his back, and now this whole middle is open because Javon Carter's not playing help. Joe Ingles is not playing help. And so you hold that position, wait for Matthews to clear out, show that hand, boom. And then guess what happens if you don't got that pass? It's because Matthews decided not to clear out. Then you got Jaylen Brown coming out from that corner, exfilling. So boom. Little things like this where I talk about you got to be able to make plays within a play. So instead of just trying to run a play and be a robot, you got to see these options within the play and say, okay, I got to take advantage of this now because we ran this. They left a little gap in this play. And I'll just make the game so much easier for myself instead of trying to take that ball back out and literally run a play against a set defense. It's just going to make the game easier. You don't have to work so hard. You're working smarter, not harder.
Rebound snared by Tatum. He's got a couple. He averages 7 a game.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That in and out in transition is probably one of the deadliest moves you can use in transition. So nasty, especially when the defender bites on it. And so you see a player try to step up on you, and then you hit that in and out with that hand that's on their top foot. Oh my gosh, they be going.
56%, puck shooting 42%.
Now, boom, pace. I think a lot of people get my ideas about pace twisted up because they think when I say pace, you got to be some super tall player and go super slow and just shoot over the top. No, it's not about that. The idea of pace is about as you get into your pace and you go from slow to you're quick, you're fast, it's hard for the defender to react because you got them relaxed and they have to react to you. Whereas you know when you're going to go. As soon as you want to go quick, you're going to go quick. And if you're able to control it, boom, you're going straight into it. Whereas a defender, you got them relaxed. You got their nervous system relaxed. You got their mind relaxed a little bit. And so by doing that, the reaction of the defender is going to be slower. You're going to be able to get these shots up over the top because they're reacting a little later. And now what shots do you take when using your pace? It all depends on you. Depends on your height. Depends on your how your jump shot is. Depends on your wingspan. Your feel for the game. All those little things. So like, I'm not saying you got to shoot this shot with the same exact pace with the same exact defenders. I'm just saying you could shoot this. You could shoot this shot depending on whenever you feel it, and according to your feel of the game and how you're using the pace and whatnot. So boom, that's what I mean to say about pace. Pace is has nothing to do with height because anybody can use pace. Same thing. I'm telling you, it's the same thing. Where you get into your pace, and he's got Giannis on him. 6'11", probably 7'4", 7'5" wingspan. He's slow, relaxed going into this pull up. Relax, right? Pace. Then boom, he gets into his move. And it's not even like that was a crazy fast step back or nothing. That was like pretty much normal speed step back, but it made it the normal was allowed to seem quick and get that space because he started off slow. I want to see how he adjusts in time and how he does in the playoffs. All right, you see, if this was 1990, 1985, that would have been a knockdown. But it's 2023, and that shit was an air ball. Nobody shoot mid-range jumpers nowadays. You got Al Horford shooting mid-range jumpers. And it's an air ball. Man, that's crazy, bro. 1990, that shit would have been cash. Shit would have been cash. You'd have seen him jump 2 feet in the air. Knock that down. Hey, and then, of course, you got Al Horford hitting 30-footers. That's just going to help a shit ton. You got Al Horford. Logo Horford, bruh. He pulled that bitch. And they wonder why they lost by like 40, bruh. Oh, my gosh. And, you know, this is where things are starting to go left. You know, I ain't going to lie. You see? That right there. Milwaukee dug themselves their own hole because their shot selection, their pace, how they played, they just played so uncharacteristic and so unchampionship-like. Boston ran away with it. Plays like this, little lackadaisical plays, like careless turnovers. Boom. Early shot clock 3, about 9 seconds in. Touch the paint once, kicked Portis, moving 3. There's a ton more. I have not put up all the threes I missed because it would have been a brick compilation. I ain't gonna lie. But I put a good number. Come right back down. No real action. Just dribble, boom, one pass, shot. Deep 3, mind you. Boom. Do I even need to play this anymore? Bro. That shit was brick, bro. And now, boom. I was like, finally, somebody didn't settle. Somebody decided to go to the rim, try to get and actually go and get a bucket, be strong. Right? Somebody decided to go. Jaylen Brown had like 3-4 back doors all night, and that's really, in the NBA, that's unacceptable, bro. And then Giannis, of course. I love to see Giannis when he's not settling for these jumpers, because you should, especially for a player like Giannis, you're the best guy on the team. You should be able to read the momentum of the game, see how it's flowing, and then adjust your shot selection accordingly. Like, y'all down 20, you need to see that bucket go through some way, somehow. So for him to kind of take these walk-up threes, zero pass threes with still like 12 seconds, 15 seconds on the shot clock, that's bad. And so if I'm Giannis, especially in the situations, my mind shouldn't go to I'm gonna shoot a three until I see maybe 8 seconds hit that shot clock. Because you know, if Giannis does hit a few of them, it's big time. But I ain't gonna lie, you already let Boston get hot. They shot 51% from threes this game, 22 of 43, I believe. The advanced stats, advanced metrics, nah. These early clock threes, bro. Look at the clock. Look at the shot clock. Early clock threes. They really shot themselves out this game, bro. When it comes to a game like this, you got to just learn from it and then scratch it from your memory, bro. Forget that shit. Forget it. Forget that game, bro. Like, you can't have this in the back of your mind when you go to that Eastern Conference Finals and you may be playing Boston. You can't have this game in the back of your mind and be like, oh, damn, they just did this shit to us last time. They keep doing this shit again. No, you're getting intimidated at that point. You can't play that game. You can't be a victim of the past. You got to realize, oh shit, all the things we did wrong, we literally dug ourselves our own hole. So now we got to go back and play them and show them, okay, we're really not about that shit. We're really gonna go and hoop and shit. So. That was 5 seconds into the shot clock. But peep this by Malcolm Brogdon. Notice that little, him showing the ball. Notice how Drew Holiday reacts. Now, what does Holiday do? Holiday rises up out of his base. Notice. He rises up out of his base. You get a defender to rise up out of their base, you know how much harder it's going to be for them to be able to recover? Because now they got to drop back down, full replacement, boom, go slide and go get back in front. It's so much harder. So now, boom, he got Holiday out of his base, and that's literally all he needs to be able to go, boom, and attack, and get that lay. Done. Jesus. All right, you hitting shots like this, like you're not, you're cooked. You're cooked. Like, you was already down 27 right now, and you got Tatum hitting shots like this. Good luck getting back into the game. Good luck. Good luck. And then Giannis, after he seen himself down 30, down 25, down 20, whatever, Giannis turned this into a 2K game. He started rim running his ass off. He started rim running, bro. He picked that ball up and put his head down, just attack the rim, bro. That's great. The composure. He wanted that Ingles switch. Right? Ingles steps up. He tries to pressure him. He tries to make him speed up. He tries to get him out of his game, get him out of his own pace. But Tatum, on the other hand, even though he is pressing up, and he could just try to say, okay, I'm going to go as soon as he goes and presses me up and use it against him immediately, he doesn't allow Ingles and his reaching and him being all up into his space dictate when he wants to go and attack. Tatum isn't going to go and attack when he wants to go and attack. Staying composed, boom, before you even decide to go and attack. Create that space. Then, boom, got to his crossover. Joe Ingles broke that stance. Boom, got the foul, got to the line, man. Stay composed. Stay relaxed. Hey. All right. That could have got ugly. It seemed like if Giannis took his hands off, it seemed like he couldn't help himself after that. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I was like, is Giannis gonna get attacked by Tatum and Jaylen Brown in the playoffs? Is he? Because I'm like, they're attacking him. They're full on going at Giannis, getting these switches and just going straight at him. That's filthy. Now, it's not even none of the setup, nothing. Peep the base on the step back. He gets himself off balance. He makes his go move right here. Then he kind of loses some of his balance, but he makes sure that once he goes back into that step back, that he makes sure he has his base. He has his base. Look at his base. Hips loaded, knees loaded, on his toes, back foot not so much right now, but boom, it's ready to get up there. So boom, Tatum gets right up into his shot. Knockdown, man. Notice as he got into that dribble pull-up, a lot of people think dribble pull-up, you got to go to the rim. Nope, sometimes you got to go to space. So in a situation like this, where you got a ton of space, you already got the defender trying to recover. Just get into that space and make that pull-up. Instead of trying to get downhill, because you try to get downhill, the defender's already going downhill, so now you're closing up the space that you got.
Still on the floor. There he is, driving into Brown. They try to set the
Now, boom. Now, the thing with Boston, like I was talking about a little bit before, about them switching, about them being able to guard so many types of players. The thing is, like, this Milwaukee matchup and the way they play him is better than most teams do. Because what most teams think is just like, okay, we're going to guard Giannis and get somebody strong and put them on him. Boston, on the other hand, they're going to get somebody that's going to stay in front. On top of that, it's not like they have a bunch of guys who will just stay in front and then, boom, get bulldozed every single time. They have guys who will stay in front and be able to take on some of those hits as well. So Marcus Smart, Jayson Tatum, Al Horford, Jaylen Brown. That's 4 guys right there. Grant Williams as well. Another player you can really just take on those bumps at times. Now Giannis will sometimes get his spots, but Boston's still going to be able to, like a lot of the times, be able to stay in front. And literally just by staying in front, that also works as your contest, because the angle that he has to get to the rim and get to his finishes is also going to be tougher. And so on top of the fact that they do that, they get their help stacked up. They also build that wall like other teams do. But this wall actually works because the players that's guarding Giannis are able to stay in front. So the way they guard him, the players that they have to be able to guard him like this is a luxury and could help them be able to beat Milwaukee time come playoffs.
playing like he's 26. Sets a screen. Brockton with it. Allen on him. Smart in the corner.
That's it. That's set up by Tatum. He's just so relaxed. This pace, and then watch how he uses that off arm. He did not nearly go as quick as he could have. Literally just chilling. He's going probably like 30% right here. Then he gets himself downhill. He jogs, breaks his stance to Joe Ingles, breaks his stance, literally just guides him with his arm. Boom, creates all that space. He gets the catch, then he gets more into space, and then he gets a shot. Again, he gets a shot, man. It's more than about being able to play with the ball in your hands. It's really a lot about being able to play with the ball out of your hands, because there's one basketball and you got 4 teammates. So off the rip, you may have the ball in your hands for 20% of the possessions. So that means 80% of the time you do not have the ball in your hands. So if you do not learn how to play basketball without the ball in your hands, why should you be on the court? Why should you be on the court? And if you want to be that player, I'm going to be like Luka. Nope. Luka is 1 in a million. LeBrons are 1 in a million. Those players who are going to get the ball every single time, 1 in a million.
Question to you, is that enough points for a guy off the bench to win Sixth Man of the Year?
Great move by Tatum. But I really want to emphasize this right here. Ball handling is more than about the ball in your hands and the ball hitting the floor coming back to your hands. It's about the ball with your hands being in sync with your feet. Watch how Tatum makes these moves, and each one of them are in sync with his feet. Half speeds. Watch. 1, 2. You seen that right there. Cross to the left foot step, then swing back to the right hand step. You've got to make sure your moves are all in sync, because if you have the ball going somewhere, but your feet aren't going there, how are you supposed to get somewhere? Tell me. How are you supposed to get somewhere? Your feet take you to move. Your feet allow you to move. But if you're moving the ball and trying to just take the ball and go somewhere, but your feet aren't going where the ball's going, how are you supposed to get somewhere? So you got to make sure you're doing all these drills you're doing, making sure your feet and the ball are active and moving in sync, moving together on the right moves.